welcome race fans to NOLA Motorsports Park, the second event of the 2024 USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tire. My name's Rob Howden, about set to get on with today. Big day yesterday, of course, open testing sessions, practice sessions officially at the end of the day, but time to get things underway here with the drivers in USF Juniors. My name's Rob Howden, pleased to be here at NOLA Motorsports Park. As I had said, a gorgeous day. Time to roll into qualifying. A little wrinkle here in 2024 as we'll change up the way we approach qualifying. Two different sessions for the drivers. Of course, the field stretching out to 26 here this year in 2024. We'll split the field in half. Two qualifying sessions, 20 minutes each. Depending on where you finish this qualifying session is where you'll start. You're not really racing for position, but you're on track qualifying for the row that you will be on. Fastest group will start on the inside, second group on the outside. Very similar to what IndyCar is doing here this year. So again, all the drivers on the grid getting set and ready to roll. They'll be on track momentarily. The first group ready to qualify for USF Juniors. Stay tuned after this break. We'll come back with the first on-track action of the day. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at NOLA Motorsports Park. The drivers on the racetrack to get things underway for qualifying for the USF Juniors program. A busy day, as we know, here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Gorgeous right now. About 63 degrees, blue skies. We expect the temps to get up likely into the high 70s today. A great shot from our drone there, just getting things underway. You see drivers warming up, and as I said earlier on the intro, USF Juniors qualifying split into two groups. 26 drivers in total will take to the track here this weekend. Two groups racing for either side of the grid. So essentially the fastest driver overall, his entire group will go to the inside. He'll start on pole. The other group going to the outside. So really where you finish in your group is the row that you'll be on. If you're fifth quick in your group, you'll be on row number 5, whether or not it's inside or outside. But as I said, a very, very busy day rolling in, as we know. Qualifying, getting things underway as it's 8:02 here local time. 8:25 scheduled start time for group number 2 of USF Juniors, their qualifying session. The Skip Barber Racing School Formula Car Series here this weekend as well. Perfect pairing for the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tire. As the champion of that series will be awarded a $100,000 scholarship to move into USF Juniors. So we'll be keeping an eye, very close eye on the drivers in the Skip Barber Formula Car Series, trying to follow in the footsteps of Sebastian Weldon, who won the championship last year, took his $100,000 scholarship and moved to VRD Racing to run this year and try to challenge for that championship in USF Juniors. After Skip Barber gets their practice session in, 9:45 will be back on track with USF 2000, their first qualifying session. Qualifying 1 for both Juniors, USF 2000, and USF Pro 2000 to set the grid for race number 1, which will, of course, happen later on today. Tomorrow morning, and then we'll have qualifying again for USF 2000 and Pro this afternoon. That second qualifying run set in the grid for race number 2. Your second fastest time set in the grid for race number 3. So a lot of action going on, as I said. After USF 2000 qualifying, we'll roll right into USF Pro 2000 qualifying. Back at it again with another practice session for the Skip Barber Racing School. And then we will go racing. Essentially, green flag set to go at about 12:20 or early in the afternoon. It'll be a 12-lap race, 45-minute race distance for USF Juniors, the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Louisiana. So indeed, drivers getting things underway in our first group here. Waiting for live timing to populate itself to get things underway. $16 drivers out there on the track. So give them an opportunity to roll around and get some heat built into these Continental tires. So, D, those of you following at home, try to watch live timing. We are working on that, getting it up for you here. So live timing has not populated onto the app, usfjuniors.com. So indeed, the drivers getting this opportunity to get on the track after a ton of practice time. We had a number of test sessions yesterday for these drivers, banging out the laps throughout the day. 3 test sessions yesterday in the open test, and then, of course, the official practice session in the afternoon. So a lot of track time for these drivers. And remember, we were here at the end of February as well for our spring training event. So this is a track that these drivers have a lot of seat time on. I had a chance to talk to a number of the racers yesterday, just talking about the track itself, passing opportunities. Turn 1, of course, is going to be one of the best passing opportunities, potentially into turn number 5 as well as you roll into the right-hander coming through the inner loop. Then, of course, that big run down the back straightaway. You saw that on the drone shot there as they come out of turn number 9. There it is there. Out of turn number 9, they'll roll out of that left-hander, that sweeping left-hander. They're flat out all the way through. Flat out from essentially turn 7 through 8, 9, all the way through the back part of the racetrack. That big run down here, as you see the drivers working their way there right now, all the way down into the turn number 10 right-hander. It's a bit bumpy on the inside. A couple of drivers have told me that. They kind of tested the waters a bit with an inside move, and it gets a little bumpy down in there, but that is going to be probably one of your primary passing opportunities. Through 10, through 11 here, as you can see, the left-hand sweeper, back through turn number 12. You'll see drivers get off track coming through turn number 12 on the outside. You're trying to carry so much speed through that corner. Out here through turn number 13, you see them fully using all of the track over top of the rumbles and then down the front straightaway here. So I think a pass into turn number 1 is very likely going to be set up by a driver potentially having issues through 12 and 13, right? You're going to have to take full advantage of that. And this is one of those racetracks, because it's a limited passing opportunity, that it's the pressure that you put on the driver in front of you. That's what's going to push them into a mistake. And that, I think, is one of the keys, right? You have to make sure that you minimize mistakes yourself and capitalize on anybody else's. So, again, hoping to get live timing up and running here for us. They're still struggling with getting that line back up again. I think we're still holding in on that one, so it'll get going here momentarily. Figure out which drivers are on the track right now, at least to give you an opportunity to get things rolling. We say hello to those all you who are tuned in around the country and around the world, as we'll be, of course, live all weekend long here on the USF Pro Championships app and YouTube channel. Great shot there again coming down that back straightaway. You see some of the newly paved areas of the racetrack. We'll have a look at the opening race group here. As I said, drivers on track right now. Liam McNeely, one of the drivers on the racetrack. Liam running for Jay Howard Driver Development. GB4 driver last year. The UK pilot coming over here was very quick. I think I actually topped the session at spring training. Vinicius Tesaro as well, young Brazilian running for D-Force Racing. Could be a challenger this year. Topped one of the practice sessions yesterday, one of the test sessions. Former winner of the Superkarts USA Super Nationals in the Mini Swift category. Leandro Juncos in this group as well for D-Force Racing. You'll know that last name, the son of Ricardo Juncos. Juncos Hollinger Racing in the NTT IndyCar Series. Leandro on track in the number 17. Tesaro in the 15. Aiden Ingrata, the Canadian top kart racing driver, still top 10 ranked driver by ekartingnews.com, but making the move now to cars with Jay Howard Driver Development. Ingrata in the number 7. Christian Cameron, another top karter. 2022 Challenge of the Americas 100cc Junior Champion in that West Coast Winter Series program. Christian Cameron for VRD Racing in the number 70. Anthony Martello, another top young driver in national karting, still running in the pro shifter category with Rawlson Performance Group, but making his move, of course, to USF Juniors as well. So many drivers have done. Martello, the Canadian, in the number 95 for Exclusive Autosport. You'll have Timothy Carroll as well for Jay Howard in the number 8. Brady Golan, top 10 last year in the USF Juniors, one of the top returning sophomore drivers for D-Force Racing. He'll be driving the number 18. Ava Dobson, young rookie out of Wisconsin. She ran the last couple of races last year at Road America and the Circuit of the Americas. Ava running for Jay Howard Driver Development in the number 5. 2 drivers from Zanello Racing as well. Diego Guillo, the Texan, in the number 12. And Alex Popov, who was a late entry at the track, didn't quite have the funding. They were able to put it together, and the whole Zanella crew banded together to be able to get that car together. And actually, that car is one of the Team Tonus cars. They actually were able to purchase one of the cars from Team Tonus, get it set, put together, and Alex Popov really stepped up yesterday. Kind of understood he didn't run the spring training here, didn't really know what to expect, but he was going out there to just learn the racetrack, get comfortable in the car, get every little bit he could put together to get things rolling. So he did look good. He found speed throughout the entire day. So shout out to Alex for sure. And then also in this group, Michael Suko in the number 10 for VRD Racing, and Max Taylor, a driver we expect to challenge for the championship. He's going to do double duty this year, running USF 2000 and USF Juniors. Driver to Hoboken, New Jersey, a winner last year in USF Juniors. Max Taylor for VRD Racing, a driver we expect to challenge as well. So indeed, live timing still not streaming yet. We'll try to figure this up. Be able to give you the times on where we are here right now. They are working away trying to get that done. But again, drivers on the racetrack, as I said. Let's have a look at the second group as well. For qualifying, that will have Sebastian Weldon in the number 98, Augusto Soto Sharipa for Inter MS in the 24, Weldon driving for VRD Racing, the Skip Barber champion from last year, as I had said. Jack Jeffers, third place in points last year, 3 wins in USF Juniors in 2023 for Jeffers, the driver from San Antonio, Texas, for Exclusive Autosport. Definitely will be a championship contender this year. His teammate, Evan Cooley out of Illinois, has been impressive. Started out with the program at the Fall Combine at Indianapolis last year, was really strong. He's been good throughout off-season testing through the Academy Winter Series as well. Cooley in the 91. Zanella Racing's Leonardo Scorpioni, another strong karter out of Florida in the number 55. Won one of the races at the Academy Winter Series. Zanella coming out strongly. Bruno Ribeiro for D-Force Racing. Joao Vergara as well for Exclusive Autosport. Both Rodrigo and Patricio Gonzalez for the D-Force Driver Development Team, the new squad that they launched this year. Hudson Potter as well for Jay Howard Driver Development in the number 4. Aiden Potter in the 6. G3 Argyros in the number 3. And the 25 of Ariel Elkin for Inter MS. We expect both the Inter MS drivers to be quick out of the gate. Augie Soto Sharipa and Ariel Elkin. So I'll do my best. We don't have, obviously, live timing here. I'll try to see if I can't get a printout or a shot, at least, of where they finish this session and when we do cap things up, and then come back to you here, because, again, we're going to essentially go right into the next session with the second group of USF Juniors. So 2 groups. So you really just, again, as I said, where you finish your session is the row that you'll be on. If you're third in your group, you ends up on row number 3. It all depends on who the fastest driver is. The overall fastest driver in the group will take the inside line. Drivers settling out. We're getting used to the new cameras here. The camera systems we have here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Here's the shot through turn 1 and turn 2. Back over to the left hand, turn number 3. Sweeping 3, then at the end, turn 4. A little tighter on the corner there. Back here to turn number 5, one of our passing opportunities. Little bump on the entry, I'm told. Through turn 5, the key is getting out of turn 5 with a lot of throttle. And you're coming through these couple of corners here, 5, 6. So there's 5. Way out there goes one of the Zanella cars, the white, black, and yellow. Then turn 6. Maybe a little lift in turn number 6, and then you are flat out 7, 8, 9, all flat out back part of the racetrack here. USF Juniors fully on the loud pedal here as they come through. And then you see that short straightaway here, back through turn number 8, the right-hander. Then turn number 9 leads them onto the back straightaway. And this will be where you're looking for the draft. Hopefully you had a good run through turn number 9, potentially able to dive to the inside, make a pass work. There's one there. You see how close he's getting coming down the inside. Perfect example of a pass in turn number 10 that we expect to see here throughout the weekend. So nicely done for the USF Juniors, providing the example that I was looking for through 11, through 12, and, of course, then we'll pick up the camera here as they come back out of turn number 13. Used all the racetrack, as I said, way out to the wall, and then the big run back down here into turn number 1. So the crew's still working on live timing to get that for you. Timing is up and running, though, just not being able to feed it to the live feed yet. We'll do the best we can there and get it to you. But again, I'll try to get a top 5 when I can. Second group of 13 drivers sitting on the grid right now, ready to roll. 26 in total. We're going to have 27, but the Skip Barber Racing School team with Joshua Leonel electing to withdraw from the weekend just weren't quite where they needed to be. It was a late program. He actually had tested with VRD Racing here at spring training, but they brought that program in-house just recently and elected to, press the reset button, get done what they needed to get done, and aim for Barber Motorsports Park, that Thursday, Friday event that we'll be at later this month, where the USF Juniors will be on the same dance card as the NTT IndyCar Series. That fantastic track in Birmingham, Alabama. Much different to this one here. This track, of course, the club facility here at NOLA Motorsports Park, very flat. Held an IndyCar race back in 2015. In fact, we used to come here, and when the program was formerly known as the Road to Indy, we had our Winterfest here as well, kind of a winter series we had put together, leveraging NOLA Motorsports Park. So again, we'll give you the visual look of this qualifying session. Not able to update you with any live timing at this point, but as I said, at the end of the session, I'll grab a screenshot and be able to let you know what's going on. When we finish up this session, we'll go to a quick commercial, and we'll come back. Obviously, a little bit of a break before we roll in with the next group. 20-minute sessions for the drivers here, so lots of time to lay down a quick lap. If we look at the fastest drivers yesterday in official practice, Sebastian Weldon, the VRD driver, topped the chart significantly by 0.6 of a second. He was able to turn down a 138.852. Liam McNeely, the British driver in the number 9, second for J. Howard Driver Development. Inter MS for Augie Soto Chiripa in third. Vinicius Tesaro fourth, and Jack Jeffers rounding out the Fast Five. That was, of course, yesterday's practice. Leandro Juncos was 6th, Evan Cooley 7th, Aiden Ingrata in 8th, Leonardo Scorpioni in 9th, and Christian Cameron rounding out the top 10. And again, a lot of rookies in the program. And we had, 15, 16, 17 drivers, up to 18 drivers last year, but this program obviously exploded with some new teams. We'll talk a lot about that throughout the weekend and throughout our broadcasts here. A lot of rookies coming into the program here for 2024. New teams as well. I think obviously the big one, Inter MS and Zanella Racing being those two primary teams that have joined us. The D-Force driver development program, they expanded past their 4 cars to add 2 more cars in their driver development program as well, bolstering our series up to 26. We thought we were going to have potentially 28 or 30. There's a couple of drivers I know that we're looking to run this year, but I think have elected to test more, maybe make a mid-season debut. We had talked about Team Tonus already. They were planning on running this year, but electing to focus the young drivers, Jackson and Ethan Tovo, on F1600 and some karting as well. So they elected to push off their debut in the series to 2025. We need both those drivers just 13 years of age, electing to leverage the opportunity that we have here in USF Juniors, where as long as you turn 14 during the racing season, then you have to turn before the final race weekend, which is in late August, at Portland. If you turn 14 anytime during the season, you can be 13 to start the program. They were the only 2 drivers who have taken advantage of that and have elected just to run F1600. They had their first race a week ago in the FRP F1600 Championship Series. A tremendous program. F1600, of course, great training, as it has been for many years for lots of drivers. So we'll see the Tovos next year. Hopefully the return of Team Tonus. But again, less than 2.5 seconds separating the top 23 drivers. A couple drivers didn't go out in practice. Ariel Elkin, Max Taylor, and Joshua Leonel. I talked about Leonel kind of scuttling his program here for this weekend. But yeah, Elkin and Taylor did not turn any laps, which kind of surprised me a little bit that they didn't get out on practice. But we had so much track time. And then a guy like Max Taylor doing double duty in USF 2009 USF Juniors probably didn't need the track time. So I believe checkered flag has come out to end the session. So drivers will work their way into the pit lane here now. 8:25 scheduled start time for group number 2. So that's 5 minutes from now. So drivers, you can see the rest of the field sitting on the grid. Right to the right there is the number 98, the Cambridge VRD racing machine for Sebastian Weldon, quickest in official practice. We'll see how he rolls out here in qualifying. So checker flag has been waved. As I said, all the drivers have taken that checker. They're all going to work their way back. They'll come onto the grid, and, of course, from that point, we can send them back into the paddock area, get themselves over to tech. And, again, 8:25 scheduled start time for the second group of qualifying here in USF Juniors. We're going to take a quick break here, folks. Don't go anywhere. I'll run over and try to grab some times here to be able to get you updated. We come back to green. Otherwise, it's time to take a quick break. We'll get back with a second group for USF Juniors.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by, like, a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
It's a fresh start. It's a
my career's on the line with the
great
chapter.
chapter. I think everybody's goal is to
My
win
life,
life.
all this year is
I just
playing
want to do it as long
together
as I
and
possibly can.
making a good championship season out of
It's
it.
the reason to keep me alive and the reason to keep me pushing.
I mean, a lot since I can keep going up the ladder.
All those champions and wanting to become part of that
The
list.
drivers are racing aggressive with me, I'll race aggressive with them.
The scholarship is incredibly important. It's obviously the goal for every driver.
I'm gonna rewrite what happened last year in terms of that rivalry with him getting the best of me. When you win a race, it's the best feeling ever.
Field is stacked.
Hopefully this year we can have good luck.
Having the scholarship money to move up next year is really all I'm aiming for.
And welcome back to NOLA Motorsports Park. Again, the live timing is being worked on by the timing crew. We do have timing working. We just don't have the live timing feed. So let me see what I got for you here. Take a screenshot to dial things in. First group of drivers on track. The second rolling out here right now. Liam McNeely was the quickest at 138.185, a half a second faster than Vinicius Tesaro. So McNeely for Jay Howard Driver Development P1, Tesaro in second. Max Taylor was P3, Leonardo Juncos in fourth, and Timothy Carroll rounding out the top 5. Aiden Ingrata 6th, Alex Popov in 7th, Christian Cameron 8th, Brady Golan 9th, Michael Suko in 10th, Diego Guillo in 11th, Anthony Martella in 12th, and Ava Dobson 13th. 1.5 seconds separating top to bottom there. So indeed a 138.153 solid lap for Liam McNeely as he drops down a good one. Not surprising for McNeely, very strong in the spring training program. Driver to London, England for Jay Howard Driver Development, Acclaim Contracts, Wolf International, the sponsors on that race car. McNeely, definitely one to watch. 3rd overall last year in the GB4 Series. Also with experience in Ginetta Junior racing, so good to have him over here. I had a chance, and you'll see it later, talking about the differences of running over in Europe and running here, but great to have Liam as part of the program. Always an international field in our series. Got some Canadians running in the program here this year, Brazilians, Mexicans, Ariel Elkin from Israel. Number of Brazilians, as I had said before, Vinicius Tesaro, Joao Vigueira, a couple of Canadians as well, Aiden Ingrata and Anthony Martella. So indeed, live timing. They're going to continue to work on this to try to get it back up for us. I mentioned the drivers who have rolled out for this one here. Let's give you the group here again for group number 2. Drivers will all be on track for this one. Sebastian Weldon on track there in the number 98. Augie Soto Sharipa for Inter MS in the number 24. Jack Jeffers for Exclusive Autosport in the 92. His teammate Evan Cooley in the 91. Leonardo Scorpioni in the 55. Bruno Ribeiro in the 16. Joao Vigueira in the 90. The 20 of Rodrigo Gonzalez. The 4 of Hudson Potter. The 19 of Patricio Gonzalez. The 6 of Aiden Potter. The 3 of G3 Argyros. And the 25 of Ariel Elkin. All in this one as well. Being told we have a red flag right now. Unsure why. Let's have a quick look around, scan some cameras here. Red flag on the racetrack in this session, a 20-minute session. But we are red. Drivers will all have to work their way back to start, finish. Radio communication, of course, coming in as well. So a driver has gone off the track somewhere. You can see the AMR safety crew has got onto the racetrack, scrolling around to try to find out. Oh, still trying to find out where that driver may be. Sounds like someone went way off the racetrack. I'm hearing race control talk about it. We can't even pick that up at this point here. So they're going to go to work on it. Couple of drivers on track with the AMR safety crew. They've loaded up so nicely, which is great. Good job for them. Hopefully they didn't blow the red flag. All right, we're going to have a look here. The driver slowing. That's all a potential driver off to the left of the racetrack there. Yeah, there's a better look at it now. Way off the track. That somebody obviously had some trouble coming through the corner and got off into the gravel in the far part of the racetrack. I believe that could be Evan Cooley, the Exclusive Autosport driver. And he is beached back there right now, so they'll try to get the hook on him to get him back out, but he is way off in the gravel on the outside there of, I believe, turn number 7. Crew trying to get make a decision on how to handle this. He's so far off the track right now. Hard to see whether or not there's damage, but Evan climbing out of the car, which is going to be tough for him for the first race. He'll have to come from the tail of the field. He was strong pace-wise. He'll take that walk back over to the USF Pro Championships AMR safety truck. So they'll have to figure out how to get him off there. Actually, they may just leave the car there. I don't know that anybody else is like, you're not going to get to that part of the racetrack again. So they may just leave that car out there and go back to green and get him after the session. So, indeed, they're going to likely leave that car out there. They'll just get Evan back into the safe place. Not sure what happened to the machine of Evan Cooley, but, again, we'll see him back on track. Evan, a driver we expect to be very impressive throughout the year. Out of Frankfort, Illinois, in the ITI Intermodal number 91. He made a very interesting debut at the Fall Combine at Indianapolis last October. His debut in USF Juniors for Exclusive Autosport. He actually went P1 in the first session at IMS in very cool temperatures. And I think it kind of turned everybody's head. Very strong young driver coming out of the Autobahn Country Club area. Did a lot of racing in the Margay Ignite program in both the Autobahn series there. Also ran the Margay Ignite Challenge series. Did a lot of seat time as well on a Radical, as many drivers have coming out of the Autobahn program. Getting some Radical seat time at that country club track. And then, of course, has been impressive with Exclusive Autosport. Was very strong as well in the Academy Winter Series, the unofficial program that so many of these drivers will run in USF Juniors. Gustavo Jacobin's program that runs at Homestead and Sebring in February. 6 races, essentially back-to-back events at Sebring and Homestead. A lot of seat time for the drivers leading into the official season here in the USF Pro Championship. So that's the best thing about that program for many that are young coming out of karting. Get a chance to do some wheel-to-wheel racing before you come to NOLA Motorsports Park. Get a chance to get some race starts, restarts, you name it. Because remember, so many of these young drivers coming right out of karting. They've come out of national level karting. They've done a bunch of testing. Many have done, of course, the Skip Barber Racing School, getting that license. And then jumping on board a junior's car and working with the teams, getting a lot of testing in before they go racing. So indeed, to leave the number 91 of Evan Cooley out there, we're back to green flag, as you can see, and we are at it once again. Liam McNeely, the quickest driver, as we said earlier. Let me go back here to Liam's time, so we have it in our head. 138.185 fast time for Liam McNeely. Of course, everybody rolling out with sticker Continental tires. Yesterday afternoon, in the official practice session, after 3 test sessions earlier in the day, they were allowed to carry over a set of tires. So every team gets, in USF Juniors, 2 fresh sets of Continentals for the weekend, plus 1 carryover set of tires that they brought over from testing. And that carryover set, you can use the entire weekend. That's one thing we allow for USF Junior. You can use it whenever you want throughout the weekend. Whereas USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000, you're only allowed to use your carryover set for the official practice session on track. That way you're not rolling out for practice on fresh tires. They'll bolt the fresh tires on for qualifying. We'll see that USF 2000, USF Pro 2000 a little bit later on today. As I said, the USF 2000 drivers on for qualifying at 9:45, USF Pro 2000 at 10:25. There's Jack Jeffers there in the Corpay Exclusive Autosport machine. Jeffers, of course, 3 times the winner last year Finished third in the championship, but would have been second if not for a penalty at the Circuit of the Americas event, the finale. He got a penalty there for contact that dropped him behind Quinn Armstrong into third in the points. But nonetheless, Jeffers comes in, won the Academy Winter Series this year, the overall championship in that series. So Jeffers, very highly touted young driver at San Antonio, Texas, was a top karter, ran for one of the big teams, Speed Concepts Racing, won a lot of races, and indeed, a driver we expect to challenge here this weekend, this year as well for the title. There's a lot of strong competition for sure. We know how quick Liam McNeely's been. Sebastian Weldon, we know he's been strong as well. Long way to go, long championship. Just getting things started here today with race number 1. 16 races on the docket. Of course, we'll cap it all off as part of the NTT IndyCar Series weekend in Portland. All 3 of our series will cap off the championships, our banquet, and championship celebration set for the Monday. That's why it's such a stressful weekend for all these drivers. This is what they race for. I say it's stressful, but, man, this is what these drivers thrive on, is that competition. There's the 25 Ariel Elkin. The interim MS crew actually rolling out with their new livery this weekend. They were here just on the carbon cars. No graphics on their cars at all when we were here for spring training. The livery they've come up with, the vinyl wrap, just beautiful on those race cars. I love the look of them, especially as a commentator, to be able to have cars that kind of pop for you. You're able to pick them up. You know the blue and white of D-Force Racing. I'm definitely going to be knowing the yellow, white, and black of Zanella Racing. They pop nicely. Of course, I love the metallic raspberries we talked about with the Corpay colors for Jack Jeffers. The Jay Howard cars with that black, blue, white, and red. A lot of dark cars in the paddock as well. As we know, the VRD guys pretty much hang with the carbon color of the car itself, the bodywork. The VRD machine, though, of Sebastian Weldon does definitely pop out with the Gamebridge sponsorship on the side of the car. Again, stuck on live timing again, so I'll be able to give you the top or the running order once we wrap things up. And I'll try to do that before we go to break, because obviously after this session is done, we're on break here until 9:45. We'll be back at 9:45 here, NOLA time, for qualifying for USF 2000, USF Pro 2000. Qualifying is one thing, racing is another, right? That's the one thing we're going to be looking to see how this track races when we get back at it once again. Turn 1, Turn 5, Turn 10, we believe the 3 primary overtaking opportunities. And again, as I had said earlier, it's going to be about pressure on the driver you're on, just really being on the gearbox, trying to force them to make that mistake. Being told the driver potentially off in turn number 1 right now. Nope, that has been cleared. Driver's been able to continue, so that's solid. Back at it again. Oh, driver spins right there on screen. One of the Jay Howard cars went around. Yeah, that driver able to continue, but someone getting around over there. That was coming through turn number 7. Again, that's all about coming through 6, 7, and 8. I talked about that turn 6 is essentially flat out. You might do a bit of a lift. Talking to a couple of drivers, maybe drag the brake a little bit if you're in traffic. But that coming out of turn 5, that 6, 7, 8 complex, kind of a number of right-hand corners all the way back around there. You're carrying so much speed. Doesn't take much, right, to lose the rear end. You kind of get a little spooked. You get off the throttle a little bit. The car dives to the front. Doesn't stay planted on the rear, and the rear end comes around. It's a confidence corner for sure. You have to believe in your car, the set it will take coming into 6, 7, and 8. Good shot from the drone all the way down the front straightaway here into turn number 1. Turn 1, you're looking to make the move to the inside. 2, you're trying to roll as much speed you can through turn number 1. Probably a third gear corner to try to get back over it because you're just going to hustle through turn number 2. Back over here to turn number 3. We'll follow this shot here. This is good. So this is 3. Entry through 4, tightens at the exit through turn number 4. This is the opportunity here into the inside of turn number 5, right there. You pop to the bottom of the racetrack, potentially make an overtake there. Out of turn number 5, sweeping, and then that big run, as I said, the 3 consecutive right-handers. 6, 7, 8, almost a diamond in the back part of the racetrack. More smoke there again, coming out of turn number 7 and 8. There's 8 there, so that's coming out of turn number 7. Looks like live timing has just popped up, folks. If you're on it, live timing is up. Sebastian Weldon currently P1, 38.342. Jack Jeffers, 38.731. Still 3 minutes to go. So live timing is up. 38.185. So right now, Group 1 is fastest. So Liam McNeely potentially having it where he needs to be. 3 minutes remaining. Here it is. So it's Sebastian Weldon, P1, Jack Jefferson, second, Bruno Ribeiro in third, Augusto Soto Sharipa in fourth, Ariel Elkin fifth, Joao Vergara in sixth, Leonardo Scorpioni seventh, G3 Argyros in eighth, Hudson Potter ninth, Rodrigo Gonzalez 10th, Aiden Potter 11th, Patricio Gonzalez 12th, and as we know, Evan Cooley not able to get a lap in, so he'll start at the tail of the field. Cooley's going to put a show on for sure coming to the front. We'll key on him a bit through that main event. Race number 1 of 3. But Weldon on top with a 138.3. He'll need to find another at least almost 0.2 of a second if he wants to go pole, because right now, Liam McNeely out of London, England for Jay Howard Driver Development, top spring training, currently P1 here in qualifying from group number 1. But again, fuel loads coming down here. Drivers, again, learning this new tire, right? Number of years with the Cooper. We are on Continental tires for the foreseeable future. Great to be working with the good folks from Continental. And again, understanding these tires in qualifying, where is that, point where you could potentially get the most, maximize, just get the most out of the tire. Fuel loads, of course, lightning through the session. Are you going to be good near the end? Weldon, 138.3. Jeffers, 138.7. Ribeiro, 139 flat. Scorpioni, 139.1. Argyros improves up into fifth. Both Scorpioni and Argyros up into the top 5. And how about this? Yeah, 6 different teams in the top 6. We talk a lot about this in the USF Pro Championships. Any team can win. They're all so solid. Our platform, the car itself, allows that equality. VRD exclusive, D-Force, Zanella, Jay Howard, and Inter MS, all in the top 6 right now. Another driver spun. One of the D-Force drivers, I think, is spun coming through there through turn number 6. There's your shot right there through 10, 11. Right-hand turn 12. You try to carry so much speed through turn number 12. Onto the exit curbing, big back on the throttle, out over the rumbles, and then back onto the front straightaway. Great shot of that tough complex of corners. Back part of this racetrack. Cross start finish. Weldon still on top, 138.3. Again, 138.1 the time to beat for the pole. So essentially everybody in Group 1 will be on the inside right now. Liam McNeely handling that, 138.1. In fact, he was a half a second faster. Vinicius Tesaro in the 15, second quick in Group 1, 138.7. He'd still be second. Yeah, he's actually a little bit quicker than Jack Jeffers. Just under 0.4 of a second, Weldon clear of Jeffers right now. Checkered flag being shown here now. So checkered flag out to end this session. Does anybody have the pace here in the last lap? Can to dig one in? And again, those of you tuning in, we're back again at 9:45 New Orleans time for USF 2000, USF Pro 2000. Drivers working their way in here now. So Weldon going to be quickest in the group, 138.345, about 0.3 quicker than Jack Jeffers for exclusive in second, VRD P1. Bruno Ribeiro in third for D-Force Racing. Good job for Bruno Ribeiro. The Brazilian in the 16 goes P3. Leonardo Scorpioni taking Zanella into the top 10. So fourth in the group, we'll put him on the outside of row number 4. He'll be alongside. Well, let's just do from the top then. As it runs, Liam McNeely will be pole alongside Sebastian Weldon. Row 2 will be Vinicius Tesoro on the inside, Jack Jeffers on the outside. Row 3, Max Taylor on the inside, Bruno Ribeiro on the outside starting 6th. Row 4 starting 7th will be Leandro Juncos on the outside, Leonardo Scorpioni, and capping off your top 10. Timothy Carroll for J. Howard Driver Development starting in 9th and starting 10th, G3 Argiro. So a couple of J. Howard drivers on row number 5, 9th, and 10th. Rest of the field rolling their way in here. Again, to cap this one off, Inter MS goes 6th and 7th with Augie Soto Sharipa and Ariel Elkin. Joao Viguera for exclusive in 8th. Hudson Potter for J. Howard in 9th. The two D-Force driver development cars, Patricio and Rodrigo Gonzalez, 10th and 11th. Aiden Potter, 12th. And as we said, you have Evan Cooley off on the opening circuit. He'll start back in 26th position outside of row number 13. So Cooley will put his head down and work his way forward. Well, we're underway here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Obviously some issues with live timing. Hopefully we have those dialed in for the remainder of the weekend. Not quite sure what that was, but shout out to everybody in the timing and scoring crew to get that dialed in. Otherwise, you can see in the back, drivers working their way back to the paddock area. Packed paddock, that part of the facility. So many great teams. 67 drivers here this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest ever Anderson Promotions program since it started back in 2010 with USF 2000. 66 drivers now. I believe, no, 67 still. I think we'll take the green. So, indeed, a fantastic way to get things underway here for the 2024 season. Again, we are on a quick break. We'll be back again, folks. 9:45. We'll do it once again. 9:45 back with qualifying for race 1 for both USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000. Make sure you join us here on the USF Pro Championships app or the YouTube channel. Back for qualifying at 9:45. Thanks for tuning in, folks. On behalf of everyone from Anderson Promotions, my name is Rob Howden. Bye for now.